The rain fell steadily over downtown Chicago, soaking the sidewalks and turning the city lights into blurred reflections on the wet asphalt. At a quiet bus stop near Michigan Avenue, Emily Carter stood with her 6-year-old son, Noah, wrapped tightly in her arms. Her coat was thin for the season, and her shoes had long ago lost their grip. But she stood upright, refusing to let exhaustion show. She had learned that strength, even when borrowed, was necessary for survival. Emily was a single mother doing everything she could to keep life moving forward. 2 months earlier, the small marketing firm where she worked had shut its doors without warning. Since then, interviews had led nowhere. Savings had vanished, and every dollar had become a calculation. That evening, she had come from another polite rejection, smiling through it for Noah's sake, while her heart quietly sank. The bus they were waiting for was delayed, and the cold was beginning to creep into Noah's hands. Across the street, traffic slowed as a black luxury SUV approached the intersection. Inside sat Daniel Whitmore, a 42-year-old billionaire, CEO whose name regularly appeared in business magazines and financial rankings. His life was usually measured in meetings, acquisitions, and decisions worth millions. That night, however, an unexpected detour placed him on this street at this exact moment. As the vehicle paused, Daniel's gaze drifted to the bus stop. He noticed the woman first, then the child clinging to her. There was nothing dramatic about them, yet something about the scene felt wrong, too quiet, too heavy. He watched as Emily checked the digital bus sign and exhaled slowly, disappointment written across her face. Without fully understanding why, Daniel asked his driver to stop. The rain immediately soaked his coat as he stepped out, the sound of passing cars filling the brief silence. Emily noticed him approach and instinctively straightened, pulling Noah closer. Her experiences had taught her caution. Well-dressed strangers rarely stopped without reason. "Excuse me," Daniel said, his voice calm and measured. "I don't want to alarm you." Emily nodded politely but didn't speak. "It's late and the weather's rough," he continued. "You and your son shouldn't be standing out here." "We're okay," Emily replied carefully. "Just waiting for the bus." Daniel studied her for a moment, not with judgment but with concern. Then, choosing words that surprised even himself, he said quietly, "You're coming with me." The sentence hung in the air between them, heavy with uncertainty. As rain continued to fall and the city moved on around them, Emily felt her pulse quicken the moment the words left the stranger's mouth. Every instinct she had sharpened over years of protecting herself and her son told her to refuse. She took a small step back, tightening her grip on Noah. "I'm sorry," she said firmly, "but we're fine. We don't need help." Her voice was steady, though her heart wasn't. The man seemed to understand her fear. He lifted his hands slightly, a quiet gesture meant to reassure rather than persuade. "I know how that sounded," he replied. "I'm not asking you to do anything unsafe. My office building is just down the street, and there's a cafe inside that's still open. It's warm, and you can wait there until the rain lets up or the buses are running normally." Emily hesitated. The rain was growing heavier, and Noah shifted uncomfortably against her. His small fingers were cold, and his breaths came out in soft shivers. He leaned closer to her ear and whispered, "Mom, I'm cold." The simple honesty in his voice broke through her hesitation, more than any promise could have. After a long moment, she nodded. "Just the cafe," she said, making her boundaries clear. The building they entered was modern and quiet, all glass and polished stone. The warmth hit them immediately, and Emily felt tension leave her shoulders as the doors closed behind them. Inside the cafe, Daniel ordered hot chocolate for Noah and tea for Emily without asking unnecessary questions. Noah's face slowly brightened as he wrapped his hands around the warm cup. And for the first time that night, he smiled. They sat in silence for a few minutes before Daniel spoke again. He introduced himself simply as Daniel, leaving out titles and achievements. Emily offered her name, and eventually, in small, careful sentences, shared pieces of her story. She spoke of the job she lost, the interviews that led nowhere, and the constant effort to stay hopeful for her son. She didn't ask for sympathy, and that honesty struck Daniel deeply. Listening to her, Daniel was reminded of his own childhood. His mother had raised him alone after his father died, working long hours and never complaining. He recognized that same quiet strength in Emily, the kind that didn't seek attention but deserved it. Before they left, Daniel reached into his pocket and handed Emily a simple business card. "My company is hiring," he said. "If you'd like, come by tomorrow. No promises, just an opportunity." Emily accepted the card with both hands. "Thank you," she said softly. As they stepped back into the night, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time: cautious hope.